We were once a normal family, but thanks to the media, our lives have been interrupted. I can't breathe. I can't walk. People say that's locked. Let me try to stand up. Let me try to stand up. Exactly. Exactly. I am not Nicholas Rossi, and I do not know how to make this clearer.
In 2021, a man identifying himself as Arthur Knight, an Irish orphan, was discovered by the police in a COVID ward in Glasgow, Scotland. Little did anyone anticipate that this individual, later known as Nicholas Rossi, would persist in upholding his claimed identity almost 2 years later. This is the extraordinary tale of Nicholas Rossi. Yes, my name is Nick, and yes, this is Crime Dog. Despite conclusive evidence confirming his true identity through DNA analysis and distinctive tattoos detailed in an Interpol alert, Rossi remains adamant that he is not the person accused of sexually assaulting a woman in Utah in 2008. Rossi, formerly known as Nicholas Alaverdian, before adopting the surname of his stepfather David, faces potential extradition to the United States within weeks. According to Scottish authorities, there are no legal barriers to sending him back to the US to face the charges. Rossi's background reveals a troubled history. Born to Diana and Jack Alaverdian in July 1987 in Rhode Island, he grew up amidst a chaotic family environment. His stepfather David described Alaverdian as a psychopath who engaged in abusive behaviour, including harming his wife and even killing a pet dog in front of his children. Rossi's upbringing was marred by his father's troubled life, spent in and out of mental hospitals and prison for fraud and drug-related offences. Jack Alaverdian's tumultuous marriage to Diana ended in divorce in 1990, and he passed away in 2021. Rossi's interactions with his stepfather were contentious. David Rossi, an Engelbert Humperdinck impersonator, met Diana while performing at a nightclub in 1994. Despite Diana's warnings about her children's unruly behaviour, David persisted in pursuing a relationship. However, Rossi's behaviour deteriorated over time, leading to destructive actions such as damaging property, running away, and even urinating in his brother's bed to cause trouble. Rossi's mental health issues, including ADHD, PTSD, depression, and hyperactivity, further complicated matters. His disruptive behaviour extended to tormenting his sister, earning him a scathing assessment from David, who referred to him as the devil's spawn and an evil child prone to violence. Throughout his adolescence, Rossi had numerous encounters with mental institutions, where he was eventually expelled for assaulting other children and engaging in disturbing behaviours such as urinating on beds and smearing excrement on the walls. The complexities of Rossi's life continued as he struggled with foster care, abuse allegations, and encounters with politicians advocating for reform. He gained recognition for his efforts to improve conditions for children in state care, even collaborating with local representatives. At one point, he even won a settlement after suing the Department of Children, Youth and Families for alleged abuse, though the department denied responsibility. His relationship with David Rossi soured, culminating in a violent incident during a family trip. Rossi's stepfather, exasperated by years of turmoil, resorted to physical violence. Rossi's troubled journey eventually led to a conviction for sexual assault in 2008. That's right, in 2008, he was convicted of sexually assaulting a student while attending a community college in Ohio. As a result, he was placed on the sex offenders register. Mary Grabinski, the woman involved, had agreed to meet with Rossi, having connected with him on the social networking site MySpace. Rossi initially portrayed himself as new to the area and seeking friendship. Impressed by his intelligence and charisma, Grabinski agreed to accompany him to his next class. However, things took a disturbing turn as they entered an empty stairway. Rossi forcibly pressed her against a wall and began engaging in inappropriate behaviour, eventually ejaculating onto the wall before collapsing. Disturbed by the incident, Grabinski reported it to the police, leading to a Ohio court finding Rossi guilty of public indecency and sexual imposition in March 2008. The following September, Rossi allegedly assaulted a former girlfriend, luring her to his apartment in Utah by promising to repay a debt he owed her. Upon returning to Rhode Island in 2009, he began dating another woman he met online. Their relationship quickly soured, with Rossi stalking her after she ended things. She would go on to describe his intense temper and expressed fear of what he may do to her. In all, he now faced complaints from 4 women in Pawtucket and Rhode Island. Among the allegations, he coerced one woman into withdrawing money from an ATM, and he also faced complaints from his short-lived first wife. In 2015, he married Catherine Heckendorn, but again their relationship quickly turned violent. Heckendorn cited instances of physical abuse and controlling behaviour before filing for divorce 7 months later. Rossi's troubles were escalating as authorities closed in on him. After being linked to a backlogged rape kit, Rossi, living under the name Alaverdian, became a fugitive on Utah's most wanted list. He was also being pursued by the FBI on wire fraud charges. In January 2020, Rossi claimed to have terminal non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, preparing the grounds for his apparent death. News outlets reported his demise several weeks later.
Condolences on the passing of Nicholas Alverdian.
However, suspicions arose, leading to his arrest in Glasgow on the 12th of December 2021. He was identified through DNA and unique tattoos. Judge Norman McFadden affirmed his identity during a hearing.
I conclude that he is as dishonest and deceitful as he is evasive and manipulative. Those unfortunate facets of his character have undoubtedly complicated and extended what is ultimately a straightforward case.
Despite all this solid evidence, the man who we think is Nicholas Rossi continues to claim this is a case of false identity. In a number of bizarre interviews, Arthur Knight claims he has no idea who this Nicholas Rossi is, and he's never even stepped foot in America.
Are you that man? Are you Nicholas Rossi?
I can veritably say that I have not ever once done any of the acts that you just described.
He claims to be suffering from long COVID and is constantly in need of oxygen, although doctors deny this is even necessary.
I am not Nicholas Allenberry, and I do not know how to make this clearer.
Having been approved by the court, the decision to extradite him now lays with the Scottish ministers, and an application for bail has been denied. What do you think should happen to Arthur Knight, or whatever his real name is? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are as intrigued by this case as I am, feel free to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on a single video. Until next time, stay safe, Crime Dog out.